Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, welcome to second PUC accountancy revision classes. Students, in the previous class we have concluded chapter 1, that is partnership not for profit organizations, right? And I will solve some question paper problems in the maybe regular class. Well before that I will send each of the problems. Every day I will send one problem from the question paper, old question papers. You have to solve and you have to submit. If you have any doubts, you have to call me or you can text me, whatever the mode is, you can clarify the doubts. But don't keep the doubts with you and be honest. Be honest. Don't try to copy from others. I have seen some of the students, so regularly they are copying from others' notes or the others' assignments. This is going on. Mind it, friends. You will be the sufferer. Those who are copying, they will be the sufferers. You have escaped from my eyes maybe, but remember, in board exam you will be the sufferer. So make sure that you will work out on your own. Maybe you didn't study since beginning. I'm sure there are some students who didn't study at all. But revision class videos is also enough for you. Only 6 videos are there. Go through those videos and work on your own. Any doubts, you can clarify the doubts from me. Either you can text me or you can call me and you can get the problem, that is doubts clarified. Or you can solve the problem and send it to me. I will check where the mistakes are and I will let you know where the mistakes are, so that if you learn by your own mistakes, then definitely you will be the most successful person. So make sure of it. Don't try to cheat others. Indirectly you are cheating yourself, that's all. Because teachers are not going to write board exams, right? You people are the one who is supposed to appear for the board exam, and you have to score well. That is our ultimate intention. That is the reason we are struggling hard to provide you with everything. So every day I will send, from today onwards I will send one problem each from not for profit organizations. Solve and submit it, and submit the assignment on time. Don't make us to call you, and don't keep your cell phones that is in your airplane mode or blocking the numbers of the teachers. These mischievous things are also going on, that is there in my knowledge, but make sure that you are working for yourself only. You are not working for others. Keep that in mind. Be honest and do hard work. Definitely result will follow you, success will follow you. Clear? Yes, with this that is understanding between you and me, let me move on to the second chapter, basic concepts of partnership. Partnership, mostly I think almost 60% of the syllabus will be partnership, because only not for profit organization, then issue of shares and financial statement, only 3 chapters are there. Others, basic concepts, admission, retirement, death, dissolution, these are the 5 concepts you have to study that is related to partnership. So partnership is the major part of your syllabus this year. Clear? Yes. Now I will not go inch by inch. I will take up only those, I will touch only those points which are critical and which need some sort of explanation. That only I will pick and I will move on. Clear? So definition, meaning, everything is known to you. Partnership. Then features of partnership, isn't it? These are the major things you have to make sure of those things. Maybe asked for 1 or 2 marks. They may ask you 2 features of partnership or define partnership. These are 2 marks questions, isn't it? Who is a partner? All these are 1 mark questions. There is a question bank ready with you. So go through those questions and write answers by reading the notes given to you, isn't it? Prepare your own answers. And if you have any doubt, I told you, you are welcome to call me at any time. Clear? Yes. Now, major thing is that here, partnership deed, very simple. It is an agreement between the partners. It is an agreement in writing. So this word must come. It is not oral, that is agreement, it is a written agreement. Though the law Partnership Act provides that the agreement may be in oral or in written form. They didn't tell it must be in writing, no, not at all. Even if it is oral agreement, it's fine, but when dispute arises, nothing will be there, then special provisions of Partnership Act will come into picture where some of the partners will lose. Okay. So because of that, it is better if the partnership agreement is in writing. So an agreement in writing signed by all the partners, stamped according to Indian Stamp Act, which contains all the terms of partnership, is called partnership deed. So an agreement must be in writing, first condition. The second one, it should be signed by all the partners, then stamped according to Indian Stamp Act, and it must contain all the terms of partnership, that is conditions, right? This is called partnership deed. This is an agreement in writing signed by all the partners, stamped according to Indian Stamp Act, and it contains all the terms of partnership, or which governs the rules and regulations of partnership, is called partnership deed. Mostly will be asked for 2 marks. In most of the question papers, that question is there. What is partnership deed? Isn't it? So this is partnership deed, and it contains all the rules and regulations of partnership, or terms and conditions of partnership, that is entered into between the partners. They may ask you there is 2 terms of partnership deed, isn't it? 2 terms of partnership deed. Then you can write name and address of the firm, name and address of the partners. Clear? Some students, they have the habit of writing names of the partners, address of the partners. No, name and address of the partners is one condition, one term. Clear? Then this contents of partnership deed, they ask you question like this: mention any 2 contents of partnership deed. Then you must write name and address of the firm, names and address of the partners, profit sharing ratio, capital contributed, type of business, date of commencement of the business, isn't it? Then provision regarding admission of a partner, retirement of a partner, death of a partner, provision regarding dissolution of a partnership firm, interest on drawings, interest on capital, isn't it? These are the contents of partnership deed. Everything will be mentioned in the partnership deed. So any 2 contents if you write, that is enough. You just remember name and address of the firm, name and address of the partners. Enough. Very simple. Right? Yes. So these are the contents of partnership deed. Then straight away there is a practical oriented question. That is, in the absence of partnership deed, how will you treat the following? I told you that is a partnership deed must contain many things. It should have all the terms and conditions of partnership. If there is no written deed, I already told you, written deed will save the partners, isn't it? When there is a dispute among the partners, then the partners can move to court of law with the partnership deed copy of partnership deed, so that they will be saved. They can protect themselves by producing that is a written agreement among themselves, isn't it? Written agreement is a solid proof for the court. In court of law, they ask for the evidence. Sometimes what happens, a person who is maybe a criminal, isn't it? Actually, he is a criminal, but because of lack of evidences, the criminal will be rescued, isn't it? You might have seen in newspapers, you might have read, right? So, here we have to make sure that the partnership deed, if it is not in written form, then there will be some consequences. How the court will decide, what are the special provisions regarding the absence of partnership deed. If there is no written agreement among the partners, how the court will decide the case, that is the practical oriented question. So they will ask you, how will you treat the following in the absence of partnership deed? They will give you 5 items they will give, but there are 6-7 items are there. Let us analyze those things first, so that if it appears in the board exam, then you will be in a position to attempt it. Very easily you can attempt it, because very simple answer, you have to write one sentence answer for each of the content, that's each of the points, isn't it? First, they may ask you profit sharing ratio. Profit sharing ratio. Second one is interest on loan. Remember friends, interest on loan means the loan provided by the partner to the firm. Loan provided by the partner to the firm, maybe for expansion, modernization, or for there is no cash, liquid cash. So temporarily one partner provides loan to the firm. So that is not the loan provided by the firm to the partner, it is the loan provided by the partner to the firm. Remember this. Clear? Interest on loan, maybe interest on drawings. Interest on drawings in the sense the loan given by the firm to the partner. That is, the amount drawn by the partner for his personal use. Firm's money is drawn by the partner for his personal use is nothing but interest on drawings. That is drawings, we call it as drawings, and interest will be, whether interest should be charged or not, that is the question now. Fourth one is interest on capital. That is capital contributed by the partner, both comes under this, that is capital introduced at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of the commencement of the business, isn't it? And additional capital introduced, if any, during the year. On both, how much interest should be paid, right? So this is another point. Fifth one is profit sharing ratio, interest on capital, interest on loan, interest on drawings, isn't it? Then there are some other points like inspection of books of accounts. Inspection of books of accounts, sometimes they ask, but it is not there in your practical oriented, but still you should know these things. You have studied this in your first PU business studies, isn't it? Partnership firm, there you have studied this. Then yes, so let us analyze these things. Profit sharing ratio, if there is no deed, if there is no written partnership agreement, then profits and losses should be shared equally among the partners. So you should write equally. quite in a sentence, in the absence of partnership deed, profits and losses should be shared equally among the partners. This is the provision. Clear? Then, interest on loan. Interest on loan should be provided at the rate of 6% per annum. Interest on loan should be provided at the rate of 6% per annum. The loan provided by the partner to the firm on which the firm is supposed to pay interest. So, firm must pay 6% interest. 6% interest, right? Yes. Then, interest on drawings. Whether partner should be paid, whether interest on drawing should be collected from the partner by the firm or not. That is the question now. Because the money drawn by the partner for his personal use, it is the business money, right? Firm's money it is. So, if a partner draws money, has withdrawn money for his personal use, which is firm's money, whether partner is supposed to pay interest on that? No. Here, no interest or not to be charged. Not to be charged. Remember friends, the word that is charged. Charging means what? Collecting from the partners. Charging means we are collecting. Firm is collecting, so it is charged. So not to be charged. We should not charge any interest on the drawings made by the partners. Then interest on capital. That is money contributed by the partners at the beginning of the year or at the commencement of the business, at the time of commencement of the business, or that is in between the accounting year. Maybe during the year, maybe during on 1st October, isn't it? Or maybe 1st January, year ends on 31st March of the next year, like that. So during that time, if the money is introduced or capital is contributed to the partners, whether interest should be paid on that or not is the question now. No, we should write not to be allowed. Not allowed or not to be allowed. Allowing means what? We are paying, firm is paying, because the partners have contributed capital into the business on which the firm is supposed to pay interest. So here we have to write not to be allowed. Interest should not be paid. Interest on capital should not be paid. Right? Then inspection of books of accounts. Yes. All the partners have the right to inspect the books of accounts. Make a note of this. All the partners have right to inspect the books of accounts of the firm. Clear? Then remuneration to partners. Sometimes they will ask you remuneration to partners. Sometimes they ask you specifically different ways of remunerating the partners, like that is salary, commission, bonus, or any other incentive, isn't it? So all these are the remuneration payable to the partners if there is no partnership deed, or if there is in the absence of partnership deed, we are not supposed to pay any remuneration to the partners. If the deed provides that you should pay salary to Mr. A at the rate of maybe 3,000 per month or 10,000 rupees per year, then you have to pay that. If there is no deed, no question of paying any remuneration to any partners. So they may ask you commission, salary, bonus, or they may simply ask you remuneration to partners. You should write not to be allowed. Not to be allowed. Not to be allowed. So make sure that Profit sharing ratio equal. Though there is profit sharing ratio is there, but still you are not supposed to pay the amount, that is distribute the profits in their profit sharing ratio. Maybe 5:3:2 profit sharing ratio, isn't it? Agreed between them orally. There was no partnership deed. But if dispute arises, then you have to pay all the partners. 3 partners are there, 1:1:1, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Not as per the agreement, that is 5:3:2 will not come into picture. Remember. So equally it should be distributed. Profits and losses should be distributed equally. Loss, profit, both. Clear? Then interest on loan provided by the partner. Loan provided by the partner to the firm, on which the firm is not supposed to, firm should pay interest at the rate of 6% per annum. That is loan provided by the partner to the firm, on which the firm is supposed to pay at the rate of 6% per annum. Remember this, at the rate of 6% per annum word must be there. Otherwise 6% per month, per quarter, question arises. You may not get marks for that. So per annum is very important here. Interest on drawings not to be charged, because drawings means what? The money taken over by the partner for his personal use. Firm's money is used by the partner for his personal use. Correct? So on that also should not be charged, because actually on the drawings the partner is supposed to pay interest. When nothing is there, partnership deed is not there, then not to be charged. No amount should be collected from the partner by way of interest on drawings. Remember. Then interest on capital not to be allowed. Capital contributed by the partners, on that we are not supposed, the firm is not supposed to pay any interest. Clear? Then inspection of books of accounts. Yes, all the partners have the right to inspect books of accounts. Right here, all the partners have equal right to inspect the books of accounts, whatever their profit sharing ratio may be. Remember this point, friends. The profit sharing ratio is 5:3:2. It does not mean that Mr. C, who is having, that is a 2/10 ratio, 2/10 ratio, he can inspect only that much part, only 20% or 25% of the books of accounts. No, it is not like that. Or the partner, Mr. A, who is having 50% authority, 5/10, 50% of the ratio, right? So it is not that he can inspect only 50% of the books of accounts, or remaining he is not allowed. No, it is not like that. Not as per profit sharing ratio. All the partners will have equal right to inspect the books of accounts. You have to write that. Clear? Then remuneration to partners, salary, commission, bonus, these are called remuneration. That is amount payable to the partner for any of the strain that is taken by the partner, isn't it? To manage the business, all these things, because one can act on behalf of all, any one of them acting for all. One can run the business on behalf of others. So the person who is running the business, the partner who is managing partner, may get salary or commission as agreed between them. If there is no agreement, then nothing should be paid. Here salary, commission, bonus not to be allowed. So this is the special provision, which is a practical oriented question, friends. In first chapter, not for profit organizations, classify the following into capital and revenue. I told you very clearly, and we have come across as many items as possible, isn't it? Everything was briefed while explaining the theory part. While doing the revision also, again I explained each of the points, right? So that is first one. This is the second question they may ask you in board exam. So make sure of this. Clear? This is about special provisions in the absence of partnership deed. Now, methods of maintaining capital accounts. Methods of maintaining capital accounts. methods of maintaining capital accounts. How to maintain capital accounts of partners? There are two methods of maintaining capital accounts of partners. First one is fixed capital method or system, fixed capital system or fixed capital method, and second one is fluctuating capital method, fluctuating capital method. Remember friends, as the meaning itself says, fixed capital and fluctuating capital, here the capital balances of the partners remains fixed as long as they are not bringing any additional capital. If they bring additional capital or capital is drawn by the partner, then this will fluctuate. Fixed capital balance will fluctuate, otherwise it will not fluctuate because we are not making any adjusting entries. Adjusting entries like interest on capital, interest on drawings, interest on loan, any remuneration payable to the partners, nothing will be entered in this capital account. Only the opening balance of capital, then additional capital if any brought, then any capital withdrawn by the partner will be entered in this capital account. Otherwise, no other entries are made in this capital account. So, the capital balance remains fixed. The capital balance remains fixed throughout the year. So, it is called fixed capital system or fixed capital method. But under fluctuating capital method or fluctuating capital system, the capital balance fluctuates from year to year because all the adjusting entries, we enter the opening capital brought in by the partner or the opening balance of capital. Then if any additional capital is brought in, that also will be recorded here itself in the capital account. Then all the adjusting entries like interest on capital, interest on drawings, salary, commission, bonus, everything will be recorded in this capital account itself. So the capital balance will fluctuate from year to year. As the capital balance fluctuates or changes from year to year, this method of capital maintaining system is called fluctuating capital method or fluctuating capital system. Okay. So these are two methods of maintaining capital accounts of partners. Remember, the types of account, the different types of accounts maintained are under fixed capital system. There will be two separate accounts. One is capital account, the other one is current account. But here only you will have capital account because everything will be recorded in the capital account itself, and hence the capital balance fluctuates from year to year. Each and every entry will be recorded in this only, that is adjusting entries, capital balance, drawings, everything will be recorded here itself, so that the capital balance fluctuates from year to year. So it is called fluctuating capital method. Here only the capital balance and the additional capital or capital withdrawn will be recorded in the capital account, and for all other adjusting entries like interest on capital, interest on drawings, salary, commission, bonus, whatever the amount you call, that will be recorded, adjusting entries will be recorded in the current account. So the current account balance fluctuates and capital balance remains fixed. There will not be any change. So the method is called fixed capital method, So here there are two separate accounts which are maintained, capital account and current account. Make sure friends, if there is a current account in the problem, which is the system, where you should make the adjusting entries, you should make adjusting entries in current account, remember. Clear? If there is a current account, there is a mention of current account in the problem, means the capital balance are maintained under fixed capital system, and all adjustments should be done through the current account and not through the capital account. That you should remember. Clear? Yes. Then, in addition to these accounts, under both the methods, you can maintain one more account, that is drawings account, if there are more number of drawings. Here also you can maintain drawings account if there are frequent drawings or more number of drawings. You can open a drawing account, enter all the drawings made in that account, and final balance transfer it to capital account or current account as the case may be. But maintaining drawings account is not compulsory. It is not compulsory. But current account and capital account under fixed capital method is compulsory. Capital account under fluctuating capital method is compulsory. Maintaining drawings account is not compulsory. We reduce the entries in these capital accounts by maintaining a separate drawings account if there are frequent withdrawals or more number of withdrawals during the year. If there are 15 to 20 withdrawals, then capital account will be burdened with those entries, routine entries. So we will maintain a separate account which is called drawings account, and all those drawings will be entered in that account, and final balance will transfer to capital account with one single entry, right? So that is what we will do. But remember, if drawings accounts are there, drawings account is there in the problem, it does not mean that it is under fixed capital system. Remember, when you will say it is under fixed capital system, only when you find current account in the problem, then you can call it as fixed capital system. Maybe a question for 1 mark answer. If current account is there in the problem, the capital accounts are maintained under a dash system or dash method. Which system? Fixed capital system. That should be the answer, right? So they may give you such questions which may not be there in the question bank. It's a practical one, analytical one, right? Yes. So this is about the methods of maintaining capital accounts in the partnership business, right? Yes. Or we will move on to the next, that is we'll prepare the format of both. This is also practical oriented question, another practical oriented question. This is the third one, right? I will take up that in the next class. I'll give you assignment. I told you every day I will send one problem and you have to answer it. If I send for 20 days 20 problems, isn't it? 20 problems are not required in one chapter. Already we have solved as much as not less than 10 problems in each of the chapters. If we solve 10 more problems, then that is more than enough, I think. If you concentrate properly, provided you take it in a serious manner. That is the condition. Clear? Yes. Thank you for watching this video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.